Language. It is the way of human communication. Either it is spoken or it is written, consisting of use of the words in a structured and conventional way. So it is a way of human communication, either written or spoken, a collection of the words which are used in a structured and conventional way. This is one of the fundamental bases and the most important criteria of human intelligence and makes a most important difference between a human being and other primates. Now, what is the function of the language? This is the higher function, no doubt. More or less, it decides literalization of cerebral hemisphere, as it is depend more on one cerebral hemisphere, either the left hemisphere or the right hemisphere. The left cerebral hemisphere in the right-handed persons localized to the neocortex and assigned it as a dominant hemisphere. So, dominant hemisphere or non-dominant hemisphere depend upon the higher function. That is the function of the language and speech. Function of the language is to understand spoken words or printed words to express the ideas. Right? Two cerebral hemispheres. Cerebral hemisphere labeled as categorical cerebral hemisphere, another name previously be known as dominant, and the second hemisphere is known as representational cerebral hemisphere, labeled as non-dominant. The function of the language and the function of the speech determine the dominancy of the cerebral hemisphere. Another name is categorical. As the name indicates, it is main function is categorization and symbolization. So any lesion of this area means dominant hemisphere, where person also lost ability to communicate in sign language. So it is important for symbolization also. And specialized sequential analytic function is also assigned to categorical hemisphere. So we will find the function of the language is a higher function and determine the dominancy of the. Now we find the anatomical as well as chemical differences between the two hemispheres. In the right-handed person, we know very well that left cerebral hemisphere is dominant. The structure planum temporal area of the superior temporal gyrus is larger in dominant hemisphere. It means that in left cerebral hemisphere it is dominant when the person is right-handed. Concentration of dopamine chemically is higher in nigrostriatal pathway in the left side in right-handed person. So we will find there is a certain differences, and other areas also we find there is a larger in one hemisphere than the other, which determine the anatomical difference. Non-dominant hemisphere, while visio-spatial relationship is the function of the non-dominant hemisphere. It recognizes the shape and form of the object. It also recognizes node of the musical theme. And the person, if learned, is a good mathematician. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड में वर्निक्स एरिया, सेकेंड एरिया इज वर्निक्स एरिया, a region at the posterior end of the superior temporal gyrus is called Wernicke's area. Brodmann area is 22. It is concerned with comprehension of the auditory and visual information. So this is for comprehension of auditory and visual information. Third is Broca's area. It is situated in the frontal lobe, immediately in front of the inferior end of the motor cortex, which represent the face. This is represented by Brodmann area 44. In the Broca's area processes the information which it received. It means it processes all the information sensory information which is received by this area, and it receives it from the vernix area. So processing is done in the Broca's area in a detailed and coordinated pattern. So after the coordinated pattern, vocalization is done, and this again sent to the articulation area. Now this articulation area is insular to the motor cortex. Because of this articulation area activation, there is the appropriate movement of the lip, tongue, larynx to produce the speech. So this is called articulation area. Next is fourth area that I have told you previously, that is speech articulation area. Now this speech articulation area is nothing as insular to the motor cortex, which initiates appropriate movements of the lips, tongue and larynx. So the communication of the words or the aspect of the language we can divide into two. There are two aspects of the communications. First is the sensory aspect, language, that is also known as language input. Language input area means it receives informations from auditory and visual cortical areas. Second is language output or motor aspect. It involves vocalization, coordination and control. So the proper communication can only be done whenever there is a proper language input and proper language output. Aphasias. Aphasias are abnormalities of the language function. This abnormality is not due to the defect of the vision or defect of the hearing or defect of the motor paralysis. It is due to the area which are present in the dominant hemisphere. So they are caused by lesions in the categorical hemisphere. The most common cause is embolism or thrombosis of cerebral blood vessel. Most probably it is the middle cerebral artery, which is the branch of internal carotid artery. So the classification of aphasias. Convenient classification of the aphasias is non-fluent when the lesion in the Broca's area, fluent when the lesion in vernix area, anomic aphasias, lesion in the angular gyrus. Now we will take one by one in the next. Non-fluent, fluent aphasia. When the lesion in the Broca's area, we will find non-fluent aphasia. Speech, as the name indicates, speech is slow. Words are hard to come by. And it is whole sentence is limited to 2 or 3 words. For example, chair is pronounced as TSCAR. It's not very clear. It's in break. It will take break. TSCAR. Like that. Fluent aphasia is a lesion in the vernix area. Speech is normal though, but it makes little sense. So useless talks. And the patient fails to comprehend the meaning of the spoken or written words. So fluent aphasia, when there is a lesion in the vernix area and without meaning, fails to comprehend the meaning of his spoken or written word. It is so Broca's aphasia, you will find it is telegraphic speech, and here it is little sense, but the person is talking and talking, useless talk. Conduction aphasia, another name is associative aphasia. Broca's area and Wernicke's area connected by the bundle of the nerve fibers that is known as arcuate fasciculus. So the arcuate fasciculus, they are nerve fibers which connect the Broca's area and the Wernicke's area. So damage to this bundle, the disorder produced, which is called conduction aphasia. It is a very rare form of the aphasia. Here the fluent is speech production but poor is speech repetition. Repetition cannot be done. Another word is motor aphasia. Person is capable of deciding, planning, but he or she wants to say but cannot make the vocal system emit words instead of noises. So there is a planning is there, coordination is there, everything is normal, but the person cannot utter the words instead of noises. And this effect called motor aphasia. Result of this motor aphasia is because the Broca's speech area, which lies in the prefrontal and inferior part of the premotor facial region of the cerebral cortex. Anomic aphasia, when the lesion confined to angular gyrus in categorical hemisphere, there is no difficulty with the speech, or there is no difficulty in understanding of the auditory information. Instead, there is a trouble in understanding written language or pictures. In anomic aphasia, you will find no difficulty in speech, but there is a difficulty in understanding written language and pictures, because visual information is not processed and transmitted to the Wernicke's area. It means angular gyrus area and Wernicke's area are very close together. After the processing, in the angular gyrus, information goes to the Wernicke's area. Now the global aphasia. Global aphasia means involves both receptive and expressive function of the speech. Speech is scant as well as non-fluent. So in this condition you will find writing is abnormal, deaf subject who develop a lesion in the categorical hemisphere lose their ability to communicate in a sign language also. So symbolization effect is also gone. Symbolization function is also gone in the deaf person. Common site of the lesion in the left side categorical hemisphere is due to the infarction, which is supplied by the blood supplied by the middle cerebral artery. So the process of the speech involves two principal stages. One is the formation in the mind of the thoughts, means planning, choice of the words to be used, and second is vocalization, motor control of vocalization. So there are two processes which are important for the speech, is the formation and motor control of vocalization. Now the motor control, when we say motor control of vocalization, means articulation, there is a muscular movement of the mouth, tongue, larynx, vocal cords, which are responsible for phonations, timing and rapid changes in the intensities of sequential sounds. Another point must remember in articulation, first is the muscular movement, second is the facial and laryngeal regions of the motor cortex. Facial and laryngeal regions which activate these muscles. Third point, what part of the brain involved in it? Cerebellum, basal ganglion and sensory cortex. of the events. Sequence of the events when names a visual object. It means that visual information from the retina reaches to the LGB of the thalamus, lateral geniculate body of the thalamus. From here, sensation goes to the primary visual cortex. Primary visual cortex number broadband area is 17. Then it goes to the associated visual area 18. After that, the sensations goes to the angular gyrus, which is 39, broadband area 39. From here, it goes to the vernix area 22. Now this vernix area is connected to the Broca's area via arcuate fasciculus, that is area 44. From here, commands goes to the processes is done, and proper command goes to the speech articulation area, insula to the motor cortex area 4. So these are the sequence of the events, how the persons visualize the object, and then it reaches to the insula to the motor cortex. In this slide, we will find the first primary area is the primary area for language is area 39. This is the area for comprehension of visual auditory sensation. This is the area processes the information which received or collect from the vernix area 44. So the auditory cortex information goes to the vernix area, and via the arcuate fibers it reaches to the Broca's area. And from the Broca's area it is processed and conveyed to the insula of the motor cortex, area 4. This is situated in the precentral gyrus, motor cortex, inferior part of the motor cortex. Now the sequence of the events when auditory words tracked. Information from the medial geniculate body of the thalamus goes to the primary auditory cortex, that is 40-41. Then it goes to the vernix area 22. From here, the message goes to the Broca's area via the arcuate fasciculus, area 44, and then speech articulation area, that is insula to the motor cortex. Now the second language area. Second language area separate near the Broca's area. Now whether it is separate or single area for the new language, it depends upon the age of the person. If the new language is learned later in the life, in the adulthood, then there is a separate area near the Broca's area. And when the age is childhood, then it is a single area. So the second language when learned in childhood, you will find only single area, that is Broca's area, near the Broca's area, in the Broca's area. And children are the fast learner than the adult. This is the plus. Thanking you, and if you like this video, then subscribe me. Thank you.